funny because the goal in the current economy is to build more affordable housing, and you hear that often.
Yeah.
But we're getting taxed 1/3
Yeah.
of the housing, and it seems as if there's actually tax at like every stage of buying a home, building a home, buying a home, selling the home, and building it again. Like if
so you pay on the acquisition of the land,
Yep.
then on the building itself, then on the sale of the transfer, then on rental income, then on capital gains once you sell it, and then it starts all over again when someone else buys it.
Yeah.
Another land transfer tax.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like an endless cycle. Like, I mean, why is the government so addicted to it? Like what the nature of this property is makes it so easy for someone to tax it.
Yeah, no, I think it's easy to collect, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably their biggest incentive to tax it.
Yeah.
But the problem is we're in a housing crisis.
But I want to go back to like why, like you just said, it's easy to collect, right? So like, okay, it's a percentage of a property that's easily identifiable.
Yeah.
No ownership changes happen before paying these taxes. No one can carry the house with them and run away with it. So the government can easily make sure that it keeps getting tax on it.
It's there, yeah.
It's there. And there's no question about collection. Like you can't buy a house or you can't buy a property without a proper closing, with the financing ready to go and money has to exchange hands, and then lawyers will transfer the money directly to the government when the closing happens in most cases. If a developer is building it, they're going to pay all the charges to make sure the project keeps moving, like development charges, etc.
Yeah, government perspective, it's definitely easier to collect and keep track of. Like you said,
Law enforcement.
The house isn't running anywhere. It's there.
Yeah, it's
there.
there.
And there's people, there's professionals working with you. It's very clear cut, you know? Unfortunately, it just shows up everywhere.
This is like 4 years ago. Around December 2021, Toronto had collected a reserve fund made up of nearly $3 billion of development charges that they had collected, but they hadn't spent.
Yeah.
That's 4 years ago. I wonder where that reserve fund is today.
I wonder too. I don't know. But I think it's funny that the whole point of development charges and collecting that revenue is for infrastructure and growth in the economy. But it's taxing the same builders that are supposed to build for the economy.
Yeah, I haven't seen like $3 billion worth of spending being done, infrastructure transforming something. It's just sitting in some bank account that they're collecting interest on. Like they don't know where to spend the money. Like they shouldn't be taxing you.
Yeah,
right?
I think if anything, it's just causing more issues because it's eating into the cost of the builder. Yeah. Why would the builder want?
It's not really a cost of the builder. I mean, it gets passed on to the person buying it.
It does get passed down to the people buying it. So it's kind of like just an overall. It's not helping anyone really, especially if you're sitting on that money and not spending it and putting it back into the city. Yeah. Right. So it's surprising that it's that large.
A lot of activity. I don't know. We're talking Toronto as an example right now, but like, I mean, what development's going to happen within core downtown when there's more condos going up? They're not putting more schools because there's no space for it. They're not putting in, new fire station. Again, no space for it. I mean, you can't really transform a neighborhood where there's no space to grow. The development's only happening vertically, right? Yeah. But there's no space to grow outside of the core. But the development charges don't stop. Yeah. And another shocking stat that I heard was that, in 2010s, and I'm just using, again, Toronto as an example. In 2010, the average development cost in Toronto was about just under $13,000. Now, last year, it was recorded at $141,000.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, when we saw that table, that's shocking. Yeah. The increase
That's 1,000%.
It's 1,000% increase.
1,000% increase. I mean, what's going on?
No, I have no idea.
Like it just continues to shock how much cost is this government. Yeah. Right? And then the problem is that no one sees it per se. These are so hidden. And then once builders or whoever's within the market, you look at, okay, what's my cost of buying a new property, and you look at these sticker shocking prices.
charging all these prices, making it so expensive.
They are the ones making money. They're the ones that are like,
charging an arm's and a length for these properties, and it's not helping the average Canadian. But really, they're also hit with these
they're
costs.
being greedy. They're being greedy, really, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like if you think about it from a builder perspective, like we said, they're buying the land.
Yeah.
They're paying the tax on that, and all the costs that go into.
It's also the delays.
And the delays that they face with the permits and dealing with the government again, and then having all the costs that goes into building these homes and these developments, and then they're charged these development charges that we're mentioning at such high amounts.
Right. I mean, HST was in the news recently because federal government, Carney government, the Liberal platform, they ran on an election promise that they will make it more affordable to buy a house. Someone who's buying for the first time and that house is under $1 million, they will give you a break on the GST portion.
Yeah.
Then depending on the province you're in, like in Ontario, they matched it. So like there's no HST on the if the house is under $1 million and you're the first time home buyer.
Yeah, let's talk about how it is right now, just to set the stage. That if you're purchasing a home currently, right, from a new build as a first-time home buyer, because we're comparing that, currently you're getting like nothing back, right, as a rebate.
On the federal portion,
on the federal portion, you get like nothing. If you buy a home over $450,000, right, you're not getting any exemption. Yeah. On the federal portion.
Well, no, I think people don't see the fact that when you buy a house, and you see the price that you signed on, it includes 13% sales tax.
Yeah, no, they don't know that there's a premium already that has a 13% tax.
So if a house is being sold for $1 million, assume there's 13% tax in it. Yeah. And all they're saying is that, look, which nobody really sees. It's in the fine print of a lot of documents that in the agreement you sign. Yeah. And that money is going straight to the government here, and then they have created these rebate systems that there's a federal portion of the rebate and then there's a provincial portion of the rebate. The rebates, depending on the province you're in, they have a different mechanism, but let's use Ontario for now. And I think you're getting into the part of the federal portion would be the 5% of the 13%. Yeah. That if the house is under $450,000. Yeah. Then you can qualify.
Yeah, if it's above 450, then you can't. You're
out of the picture.
A lot of people don't know, like you said, that these prices are they have that 13% added to it. Yeah. Right. They don't know that.
They don't know that.
Right. And it's important to know that because it's adding to your cost of buying. Right. And then the provincial portion, Ontario does provide a small rebate there.
Yeah. I mean, that's very. Compared to all the other jurisdictions, like Ontario does have a very good rebate. Yeah. Relatively speaking, it's $24,000 you can get. Yeah. But again, like in the bigger scheme of things, it's still a small drop in the bucket as a rebate if you look at the 13% that's part of the purchase price. And that purchase price could be like a down payment. Like, when you need to buy a house, you need minimum for your own home purposes, you need 5% down payment. Yeah. Right. And then you can get CMHC insurance to buy a house. But 13% is your sales tax on it. Yes. Right. So, crazy. I mean, it's
not helping.
It's not helping. I mean, that's a whole down payment for somebody.
That's crazy. Yeah. Right? I know. Yeah.
And how are you supposed to raise that much savings when this much cost is already part of?
Well, no, that's the problem, right? People don't have the savings, and that's why we're seeing these issues, right? And people can't buy, and it's frustrating, and that's part of the problem. And like you were saying, in the federal budget now they're wanting to change that to have that limit of the purchase price of $450. They're changing that to $1 million, right? So any house within $1 million, you're going to get that GST exempt.
GST off,
the federal portion of
sales tax off, and I think Ontario wants to match that or is matching it.
They're speaking about that,
but I think Doug Ford raised an interesting question in the media a couple of days ago when anything he just said it, why limit this rebate or reduction of sales tax to just first-time home buyers? Yeah. Give it to everybody that's buying a house within $1 million, right? Like what type of economy it's going to, what type of, activity that's going to germinate, right? Like with every house that you buy, you need movers potentially. You need to furnish that house. You need to buy appliances. You need to decorate the house. There's like, you know, you need trades to renovate sometimes. I mean, all these things, you know, spurs up the economy.
It does. And if there's demand, right, if the prices come down a bit, then builders are building more, right? And builders stimulate the economy.
Yes.
There's transportation, there's logistics, there's material, there's so many things that go into building a home that will stimulate the economy. So like I think housing is so important for the economy in general.
Yeah, it does spurs up, like it's an economic engine in a way. It's got so many interconnected web of industries that are dependent on it.
Yeah.
Which is good in a way. If you're not a first-time home buyer, then you don't get any of it.
No.
You just go back to your standard potentially.